What it do, y'all? We are here. I'm trying to get everything up. And I hope to God that don't get copyrighted for this. I hope to God I don't. Which is why I'm going to make sure to show the actual creators page. But as y'all jump on in here, as always, and I decided to go earlier than I was planning, which was 8. Oh, y'all coming in here. I didn't think y'all was going to come in here on time. I was going to do it at 8. But I'm like, let me do it now because I want to get this done by 9. Because y'all already know this shit is going to be 2 fucking hours long. Try to make sure everything is up. There's 21 of y'all in here right now. Make sure to thumbs up the video. Y'all do that. Shout out to you, Tiffany. I appreciate you enjoying the content. I hope y'all are enjoying everything, not just the baddies, because I'm doing a lot of new stuff. If you haven't seen it already, I've been doing it this week. I plan on doing a lot more, but thank you for that. We definitely need to have a group trip. Y'all want a group trip? What's up? What's up, Jela? Right on time. I'm bored as hell at work. Well, I got you. We about to watch this. Even though I've already seen it, but I'm gonna give y'all my commentary because I didn't feel like having to do notes. I'm like, let's just watch it together. Even though I'm pretty sure y'all seen it too. We can watch it together. We can react as it happens. But what's up, Jaquan, Diamonisha? Yeah, it's cold in here. I just finished going to the gym. I just got out the shower. I got my greens. I'm winding down. Y'all ready? What's up, Trice? I was having a bad day. Thank you. I'm glad. Well, I hope I make your day a little bit better. What's up? We hear part 2 comes out at 8. I'm not going to do that tonight because I probably won't have enough energy by the end, but we can do it tomorrow. If y'all want to do it tomorrow, we can do it tomorrow if I don't have something planned, which I don't think I will. Child, what's up? Hopefully I don't get copyrighted, y'all. If I do, as long as my channel's good, I'm good. What's up, Leah? The best to ever do it. Don't play with me. Hey, I appreciate you. But let's go. We got 34 y'all in here right now. Thumbs up the video. Y'all know what to do. The last time we went live, y'all blew the video up. Blew it up. I had almost 800 people in at one time. So shout out to y'all. I thought it was coming out April 13th. No, what? What you mean? This or the part 2? I think part 2 comes out tonight at 8. But yeah, let me see. So happy that you're reacting to this. Wish you will review love. You've been telling me that. I'm gonna try and figure out if I have time. I keep forgetting, but I'll be busy. We can't do it on here though. We can't do that on here because they will block my whole page, and then I will have to start all over again. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll look into it. But let me go ahead and get this up. I'm going to let y'all know right now I'm going to cue this because me in general, y'all know, if y'all watch me for a while, y'all know I'm a fast talker. I do just about everything fast, which includes watching videos. And especially because this one is almost 2 hours long, we're going to watch it on 1.5 speed. What's up? Yes, like, comment, and subscribe and share. Do that too. The baddest is in the build. A fractured ankle. What you do? Was you over there trying to fight like Biggie? Even if you just watch, you'll be hooked. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. And I don't want to make y'all pay for nothing. That's the whole thing. I hate the thought of making y'all pay to watch some shit that I'm doing. Like, I appreciate y'all for just showing up, period. If I could do it for free, I would. Or I might try Twitch. Does Twitch allow you to do it? Because I don't want to have to make y'all pay to watch. Especially watch with me. But let's go ahead and get on into it. Y'all know what to do. Thumbs up the video. We got 48 live people right now. We'll see if it increases, but let's go. Let me go ahead and share this page. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear. Let me see. Hold on. Not slides. Hold on. Shit. Share screen. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear it.
What's been happening in your world?
Can y'all hear it?
What's been going on the shows that you've been on? And I just want to get reacquainted, if that makes sense.
Yes, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So listen, I have this clip, and I want to play this clip real quick. So we're going to look over here at the TV, and we're going to talk about it after the clip.
Y'all can hear it. Okay, good.
I'm working on a code.
All right.
Normal culture.
Put it on 1.5 speed.
And will be ready, and hopefully out for purchase, or things will be ready to be purchased before the reunion premiere. That is like they have all of like my merchandise, most of like pieces ready for consumption before the reunion airs. And I've actually been working on a movie that they're filming here in Houston. I have a role in that. I can't really say too much about that. And then I might be doing another sitcom, like an actual show where you can see my acting skills and you can see my talent. But honestly, my ultimate goal is to get into real TV, sitcoms, dramas, so that you can actually see my acting ability and you're able to see the versatility that I can bring to the camera or to the stage. So I'm really excited about getting on the big screen in that way. And I want to take my modeling more serious because I think they have the bone structure, I have the height, I have what it takes, and I've had runway training, and I actually modeled before I started acting. But before, I ever thought that I was going to be on like a reality show or TV. My dream and my goal was to be a Victoria's Secret angel. So I've been modeling or attempting to model or doing small things since I was a kid. So modeling has always been my first passion. So I'm looking to take my modeling career more serious and take acting classes and take my acting more serious too. So
all right, well, I'm here for it. I think you can do it. You are definitely
My loud ass voice.
with and without makeup, which is an amazing thing. Because some of these chicks just need to put layers and layers of makeup on their face. So it's a beautiful thing. One last thing before you go, what advice do you have for the girls of season 15? Because apparently it's a sister, family, special kind of thing. I don't know.
only thing that I would say to those girls are, welcome to the BGC family. Find you some girls from previous seasons that you can connect with and that you can rub shoulders with or elbows with that will help you make more money in the future and aren't afraid to see you make it. And just keep going. Don't stop after BGC, whether you make it to the end or not. You did what you had to do to get on the show. Don't let the show stop you or be a hindrance, and don't stand in your own way. And like I tell everybody, always remember, everything is always business and never personal. Try not to take whatever happens in the house personal. Handle your business and get your rent at the end of the day. You already did what you had to do, and hey, the damage is done. You want Bad Girls Club. So it ain't too much you can do to destroy yourself more than that. So I say get out there, keep working, because I had to wake up and realize that I'm no longer regular or normal. So going back into the regular workforce isn't really an option for any of us at this point. So if you're gonna be on TV, you might as well take it to the
top.
Take it to the top. Oh my God.
How do you feel watching that? You got emotional.
I did.
What's going on?
I knew I
friend?
was gonna get emotional when I came here. That's why I didn't wear black eyeliner.
Okay.
But everybody that knows me can tell you, like, I'm like a manifestation, a walking manifestation, or my life is like a manifestation right before your eyes.
Let me pause that. What she's saying and what she's about to say in regards to this, I fully believe her in that, and I do the same thing. Like a lot of things, I don't talk about it because I'm a firm believer in if you speak too much to certain people about what you have planned for your life, and depending on who it is, you can't trust certain people because some people will pray in your downfall. But I'm very much like what she's about to explain. When it comes to things that I want in my life, I speak it into existence to myself. I say it aloud. I remember it. I write it down, all that type of stuff. Your internet slow. But yeah, I feel like that's what she's about to tell y'all. I completely agree. And I feel like y'all should do that as well. Like speak shit into your, like stuff that you want to do, speak it into existence and then put it in the work. But
Anything that I've ever wanted out of life, I've always spoken it aloud for other people to hear, like my biggest dreams and aspirations. And so to see me talking in an interview 10 years ago about getting ready to launch Normal Culture, and the world had no idea about that. And, 10 years later, I've done Miami Swim Week 3 times. I've been featured in Forbes twice. Normal Culture is in Vogue, British Vogue, Vanity Fair, Glamour, and people around the world are shopping with Normal Culture and they know about my brand. So for you to pull up a clip from almost 10 years ago when I was just like, when that clip was made, I was just working on hats and t-shirts. And I started selling Normal Culture out of the trunk of my car. And at that time, I could only afford to buy like maybe 25 hats and 25 t-shirts at a time.
Yeah.
And I was bartending and people were pulling up to the bar I worked at in Houston in 3rd Ward, buying my hats and t-shirts out of the trunk of my car just off of the strength that I was cool. I was from the city and I was on Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
And it just turned into something else. Like I taught myself how to sew before COVID. And then during COVID, I relaunched my brand like a cut and sew type of brand instead of just like hat and t-shirts. Mm-hmm. And from there, moving to LA, it really took off during COVID. Teaching myself how to sew, practicing off of YouTube. I went to YouTube University, got 2 sewing machines and some rulers and laid the fabric out on the floor and was marking places in the floor and like everything. Yeah, in my New York apartment.
What would the Jela today tell that Jela?
Girl, like, I would tell my younger self that you're doing it and keep doing it. And no matter how crazy or outlandish your dreams are, go for them. And then once you hit them, go for ones even bigger.
Yeah.
Because God is able. And God is never going to put a dream or a desire in your heart that you cannot have. God isn't going to let you see anything in your mind's eye that he will not bring to pass for you. And so for me, I always knew that I would be famous since I was a kid. I knew it. And I didn't come from money. I grew up here in Atlanta on the South Side. I'm from Riverdale, Clayton County. And growing up, I would always say, like, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be famous. I didn't even know how it was gonna happen, but there was this commercial that used to come on TV, the Shake and Bake commercial. Do you remember that commercial? The commercial used to be like, it's Shake and Bake and I helped. And you're like, Mom, you're the best.
No, I don't.
Anyway, so back in the 90s,
Okay.
like, let's just say like maybe between like 93 and 96,
Okay.
there was a commercial that I used to always watch, and it was like for Shake and Bake, you know? And the little girl in the commercial, she's like, Mom, you're the best. It's Shake and Bake and I helped. And I used to always say that when I was a kid, and ever since I saw that commercial, I used to always tell my family that I wanted to be like famous when I would grow up. I was gonna have maids and servants, and I was never gonna have to clean my room ever again. That was always a thing. And so saying that to say, that little girl is also an extension of that young woman.
I feel you.
Right there. Yeah. And so to both of them and to myself, I got to keep going, because there have been so many people over the years that thought that I was crazy for wanting to be famous or wanting to be on TV or wanting to be on Baddies and not really knowing what my drive.
And you know what else too to me that always gets me with a lot of the fans when one of their comments about Jela, oh, the speeches and stuff. People don't understand how illiterate you sound when you say somebody says a speech. Even though Jela is long-winded, a lot of the time she's not saying things that don't need to be heard. And she comes from a place of intellect and thought, which a lot of people online just want people to say certain buzzwords, don't elaborate their thoughts, which is why I say she's elevated. This is no longer a show that she needs to be on, because the audience is just not on her speed, which is why I'm about to transition myself out, because the audience is not on that same wavelength. I'm very much that same way. I like listening to dialogue. I like listening to people talk about things from a perspective where you're actually stretching your mind. And she stretches her mind. She thinks about things. She's going to talk about it later on with certain players or certain people that are on the show that actually think that way too. But yeah, like, I can't stand when people act like being intelligent is wrong and it's an issue. But we'll get back into it.
Driving force is behind it. And so, yeah, I would tell myself every single day, keep going, don't stop, keep God first, and be delusional and be outlandish, and, you know, keep looking in the mirror and bigging yourself up, because nobody's ever going to big you up. And I'm looking at myself, and it's like, nobody's ever going to big me up the way that I big myself up.
Yeah.
And nobody's ever going to love me as much as I love myself. And so keep being yourself and keep being confident, and know that you got this with God on your side.
So the tears are happy tears.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm doing the damn thing. Like, I'm out here breaking generational curses. I'm supporting people around me in multiple ways. I'm encouraging people, and I'm living my dreams.
Are you single?
I am.
Why?
Well, it's kind of by choice. Me being single right now is just kind of like a matter of the circumstances, because I'm just so busy with work.
Okay.
But for a long time, I'm not gonna say I didn't want to get into a relationship, because I've always wanted companionship, but it was very important for me as an intelligent Black woman to go and chase my dreams.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because, and it doesn't even come down to like skin color, so I'm not even gonna make it about that. But as a woman, I feel like as women, a lot of times we fall into the shadow or the shadows of the men we date or the people that we love. And women don't put themselves first a lot of times. We go and we have babies, or, you know, if a woman is in a relationship or if she's married, she takes, you know, that time to focus on his career or his dreams and help build him up. But when do women really take the time to be unapologetically selfish? And I come from a very large family of women, and I've seen the women in my family put their dreams and aspirations on the back burner to have kids or to start families or just living in survival mode. And so for me, I was like, before I go and start doing a lot of permanent stuff, let me give my life a real shot. Let me go and see how famous I can get. Let me go and see how many countries I can visit. Let me go and see if I can do any and everything that my heart desires, so that when I go and sit down and have kids, I don't have to live with any what ifs.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Since when has your mom been so carefree?
Yes.
Enjoy the
Hey.
I definitely want kids. I want like 2 or 3 kids.
That's
Okay.
TV.
Okay, boys, girls, or it doesn't.
Whatever God gives me at this point.
Okay. So for the people out there in the world that aren't knowing of everything that happens in Jela's life, there was a brief moment where you were attached to a young fella.
Yes.
By the name of NLE Choppa.
Oh, Lord. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I thought you was going to say something about my ex-boyfriend. I was gonna say.
Listen, so we can talk about both, but you know, NLE is always in the news, so to speak. People are always trying to gay bait him or make him gay. But talk to us about NLE. Was that a thing? Was it not a thing? Was that just a photo op?
So first of all, let me say this. He is
get paid.
absolutely amazing. Just on a personal level. He's very respectful. He's very smart. He's very into his spirituality. He's young, but he has a certain level of maturity about him. And I pulled up on him a few times at the studio and just kind of saw like the way that he works and like his like creative process. And like, I really take my hat off to him. And so when I first met him, we kind of met on Twitter, and I kind of like would see him from afar, and like I was always into like my spirituality and stuff, and being a person in the entertainment industry and then trying to be into your spirituality and talk about it. They don't really, for the internet, they don't really go together. And so people would always be like, Jela, how are you so spiritual, but you're doing this and this and that and that. And I would see people on Twitter saying the same stuff to him. And so one day I just reached out to him and I was like, hey, you know, I see what you got going on. I think that it's absolutely dope, like how you aren't afraid to talk about your spirituality and, you know, whatever. And I was like, I've been doing this for a long time. If you ever have any questions about anything in the spiritual realm or whatever, you know, holler at me, like, you know, whatever. And I just kind of left it at that. Like, I wasn't like trying to like hit on him or anything. I just saw another intelligent person in the entertainment industry that was also into spirituality and open about it. And we don't really get to see that a lot.
Okay.
And I saw someone that I could have a mutual conversation with about chakras, energy, frequencies, or, you know, different things like that most people don't talk about.
You know, I'm sitting here and I'm hearing you.
But
and I'm just like, this man, if I was a bad bitch, I want to fuck me too, huh? I want to fuck.
But I never fucked him.
Okay.
I never ever. The most I ever did, I kissed him, I think I only kissed him like once.
Okay.
But I never had sex with him. He sent me flowers to my house. He sent me like 1,000 red roses to my house one day.
Okay.
And he was always just very nice. Like I met his mom and dad and his brother, because his family like travels like as a team. But he comes from a good family. His mom is nice, his dad is nice, his brother is cool. Like they just good, cool people.
Okay.
And so every time you meet good, cool people, you don't always have to make it about sex.
Okay.
You can just meet good, cool people and it could be that. And I feel like because of our age difference, that's kind of where my mind was with it. Even though he is attractive, that young man is fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that he not. Y'all seen that picture that he put on Twitter and y'all seen what I said. And I said what I said. But I was being funny when I said it, but I was like, damn. But when I really got to know him, I was like, he's actually really cool. And if we just be friends, I'm perfectly fine with just being your friend because you're just that dope of a person.
Yeah.
And I went to his birthday party. And I knew that they were going to be filming, and he filmed like a video that night. And I was in the video, like I was aware of the cameras. We knew that this stuff was going to be filmed. He asked me to come to his birthday. So none of this was like a surprise or a shock or like we were going somewhere and then the cameras just popped out. No, it was his birthday. He asked me to come to his birthday party and he was filming like a music video or something and asked me to be in it. Yeah. And I said yes. And those are the images and the pictures that y'all see. And I had the pictures and videos for a long time because he sent them to me.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for them. His photographer sent them to him and he sent me the ones he wanted me to have. His birthday's in November. That album or whatever, when y'all saw those pictures that I posted on the internet, I dropped those pictures the day his album dropped because he released the music video that went with that stuff.
Yeah.
I had been had those pictures. If I wanted a moment or if I was looking for clout, I could have been did it.
Yeah.
I could have been did it. We had hung out so many other times besides that.
You say that, proper grammar. I be catching myself too. And what I tell y'all, when y'all be around, I tell y'all this, I think I said this a couple seasons ago. When y'all watch this shit and consume this shit so much, read a book after you do it, because if you don't, you end up saying things like this. And I'm glad she caught herself, because I catch myself sometimes saying the broken English that these women on this show say. You got to always that's called being grounded. Humble yourself.
So it's like when his album came out and he dropped the visual, I was like, oh, well, he dropped the visual. Right. Well, here y'all go some pictures.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was conversation worthy and it hit the blogs. And I don't know, like if it helped or anything like on his end, but it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like your album came out, you got a bad bitch in your video. I support it.
Yeah.
From my standpoint, and I never said nothing bad about him. I still don't have nothing bad to say about him because he was always cool. But I think that the internet kind of like misconstrued it or tried to make it seem like I was looking for a moment or like I was trying to like clout chase or whatever it was. And it was like, he sent me these pictures right after his birthday and it's months later and he dropped the visual for the video that I'm in.
All right, respectfully, I don't care about NLE Choppa. We're about to skip.
The big blow up or whatever, and pretty much told us that we were no longer on the show.
Okay.
Short, as everyone knows, the other girls that were on the cast with us destroyed pretty much everything else that we had outside of the clothes on our back. When I say that, I mean like all of our belongings, clothes, shoes, jewelry, makeup, accessories, whatever you can think of. They took it upon themselves to destroy that. And so in the midst of them destroying our stuff, I'm a Capricorn and I don't like when people try to play with me. And so I take pride in having a lot of mental fortitude. And so this day in particular, the producers came outside after the big blow up or whatever and pretty much told us that we were no longer on the show. And after they told us that we were no longer on the show, that's when you see me standing with my backpack on. I do the meme that like this,
I remember that.
you know, that's what that was because that's what they were informing us that basically they were kicking us off the show. And so, okay, since you're kicking us off the show, that means that you no longer have permission to film me. I haven't signed an appearance release because I'm no longer on your show. I'm not a cast member. And so when they got to start trying to plan like little games like, oh, well, we still need to get y'all's exit for I said, no. And I told the twins, I said, don't y'all do shit. I said, they're not filming us and go get our phones. I said, go get our phones. They didn't even want to give us our phones. Me and the twins went next door and started ringing people's doorbells at the neighbor's house and asking them to call the police for us and everything because they were acting like they didn't want to give us our phones. And, you know, I said, call the police then. I said, if y'all don't give us our phones, I'm finna knock on everybody's door. We calling the police. Like I took it all the way there. And I told the twins, like they ended up getting us like a hotel. And I told the twins, I said, before we leave LA, we're finding a lawyer and we're suing them for this shit. They just destroyed every fucking thing that we own. We don't have no clothes, but the clothes on our back and maybe like another shirt or two. And you think I'm finna go home and lick my wounds and cry while y'all make millions and millions of dollars off my tears? Hell no. They had me fucked up. And the twins fucked up. We didn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that to this day. Like that was wrong. That was wrong.
Yeah,
like,
that was only crazy.
And you know, like I never really sit and talk about it like for real, like in length, just because you know it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
But they did us wrong.
You know what? Too with this production always has a problem with her because she's smart enough to call it out, and then she's smart enough to go, as you see with BGC. She's smart enough to use her resources. A lot of these other women that stay in Zeus and get wrapped in it that they like is because they can manipulate those girls. Those girls aren't smart enough to know what their rights are and what they can do to protect themselves legally as well. So yeah, that's why I personally feel that's why they don't like her. Because Jela, even though she's gonna say a little down the line how she might have been coached into doing certain things, if it's something that she really don't want to do, she's not gonna do it. And then if they have an issue with it, she's gonna call it out. But we'll get to it.
And they had to pay for it.
Commercial, y'all. Getting that check for real. Like the way he spliced up all these videos.
The networks decided that they wanted to bring Bad Girls Club back. And they wanted it to be a collection of girls that had been on the show before. Like a Where Are They Now type of thing.
I don't think it's in.
Maybe Bad Girls on a Trip or something like that. Would you partake? Why or why not?
No.
And why?
I know.
Because
we're going to watch that tomorrow.
Bad Girls Club was a social experiment. They sat behind, they kept us mic'd 24/7. They took away our civil, like in my opinion, our civil liberties, like not civil liberties, but they took away certain things from us to make us go crazy or to make us react. And they sat behind a wall with a bunch of cameras and basically used us, in my opinion, as lab rats for TV. And we were innocent young girls just wanting to like be famous and, you know, like whatever. Everybody played their part. I'm not innocent. They not innocent. Everybody was in agreement. But what I'm saying is this, they took it too far when they decided to ruin our stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't allow myself to be in an environment with people that want to purposely hurt me. And that's what they wanted to do. And even if it's been 10 years, I can't be around people that wanted to take me out. They wanted to take us out. And so
those are strong words.
They wanted to take us out. You let those girls literally destroy everything we own. Those girls pissed in a jacuzzi bathtub of water and decided to throw our stuff in it.
The way I
That's
would've went to
malicious and
jail.
evil, and the producers let them do it. They never stopped them. If you can sit there and let somebody do that because I left them and went to the club,
Right.
if I come back 10 years later and I'm making more money than the producers that I started with 10 years ago, and I want way more money than $500 a week, and I'm very successful 10 years later, and you tried to do that to knock me down as a girl that had never been on TV before, and I'm a strong woman, independent woman, businesswoman, entrepreneur,
Smart.
standing before you, and you think that 10 years later I'm gonna let them play with me like that? I wish the fuck I would.
I know that's right.
Now, if another network was to come up with an idea about that or like something like that, then I would potentially entertain it. But with that
network,
and or production company, no.
I would love to see that. I think
it would be cute.
I think
For real.
I think a lot of when I so first of all, hey y'all, I know we just started conversation. It's been a long time in the making. I just got right into the conversation because I'm excited to see her. I loved her season, and y'all know I'm sure y'all probably have questions like, why isn't Mona here, baby? First of all, Mona is a character for those of y'all that haven't figured that out yet. But seriously, I wanted this to be a real moment between us. I didn't want this to be like a laughing kind of ha-ha comedic moment because, as you saw in the beginning, we had some feelings involved, and Mona would have made fun of it.
Right, because I seen what you posted. Well, I seen what Mona posted on the page about me hugging people when I be fighting.
Baby,
I said I can't even be mad. I had to just like the post. I said, you know what?
Listen,
I said because you know what?
Friend, we gonna get into that.
Why are you hugging,
Clocked
baby?
me.
We gonna get into that, friend.
Clocked
But yes, it's all love, and definitely leave comments, share. But we're still gonna get into some things, okay?
He said 98.
So segue back to the interview. We have a very interesting personality, interesting character. As a lot of you guys know her, I don't know her personally. I always say that there's two bad girls from Bad Girls Clubs that just do not like me or did not like Mona for whatever particular reason. But they never said it to me. I just felt it because I did so many interviews with y'all back in the day.
Yeah.
Damn near all the girls just about. But the one particular chick that I'm talking about is Natalie Nunn. Natalie Nunn, I've never spoken to her. I've never, nothing, a DM, a message, nothing. Everybody always wanted me to interview her, and it just...
I think you know what? I think now, like how we're, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I think now, like how we're sitting down and having a conversation, oh my God, like, you know what? Natalie is one of my close friends. I'm gonna hit her up and see if she would be open to it, like, you know, when she gets some...
Really?
Because I don't know okay, so what happened? Child,
So my question for you though is, how did Jela and Natalie become I don't know the title y'all use, but I'll say friends, business associates. I don't know what that is. But how did that come about, and where are you today?
So I met Natalie. I have a memory like an elephant. I remember the day I met her. I met Natalie March of 2016. We were doing a hair shoot for She's Happy Hair. We were both hair ambassadors for them, and it's a hair company based out of Houston.
Okay.
And so they used to always have like the really fun commercials back in the day and stuff. And we were working with them, and that was my first time meeting her on set. And she was just really cool. Like, she invited me to her hotel room, and we sat there and we got our hair done together. The girls came over and did our hair. And then at the time, Natalie was selling lashes. Well, she knows she has a lash company, but she was, I think, trying out like different types of lashes or whatever. So she gave me some lashes and, you know, whatever. And then she's a Capricorn and I'm a Capricorn. And I think that's where our biggest commonality is. That's, I think, I'm not gonna say the basis of our friendship is the fact that we're both Capricorns, but I feel like because we're both Capricorns, I understand her probably better than most people.
I'm gonna let her get to it.
Okay.
And so when we first met, I didn't just hop on Natalie's coattail, like, oh my God, Natalie Nunn, like, she was cool. And whenever I would see her, we would speak, or, you know, we would hang out like in passing or whatever, but we never really would see each other all the time. So whenever I would see her, we would hang out, like I said, take a shot, hey girl, and, you know, just kind of keep it moving. That's my Bad Girls Club sister, you know, whatever.
Okay.
And then in 2019, she invited me on a trip to Dubai.
Okay.
And so I went on a girls trip with her.
Heard about them Dubai trips now. What kind of trip was
But
this?
honestly, it was literally just a girls trip. It was a big group of, so one thing about Natalie loves to travel.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things that she does. She'll get a big group of girls together.
Maybe she was later. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt on the first one. I'm gonna give her a benefit of the doubt on the first one. The rest of them, I don't know.
And travel the world. Like, we've been to Dubai, we've been to Africa. Natalie and just me and her, we go all over the world together. Like, she and I, we've been to Italy a few times. We've been to Dubai together. Like,
and that's
it's
like a normal thing. It's not like,
just a
oh,
girls
girl,
trip.
let's do this for the photo op or nothing. It's like, friend, I want to go. Come with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I mean, I don't know her relationship with all the other girls, you know what I'm saying? Like how close she is or whatever the case may be. But so over the years, Natalie and I just kind of built an organic friendship, just getting to know each other a little bit here, a little bit there.
Okay.
And it just turned into an organic friendship because I don't think either one of us ever tried to like force it. Just because she was Natalie Nunn and we were both on Bad Girls Club, I wasn't trying to force myself into her life. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Whenever she would come around, we would hang out. She was cool. I'm cool. And then what happened was, the dynamic of our friendship changed when we went to Africa. We went to Africa in 2021. And around that time, I had just moved to LA and I still had my place in New York. So I was like living between LA and New York, and we were still kind of in COVID, and I was going through a breakup and I had just had a miscarriage. And so,
sorry.
Thank you. But
Yeah, that's sad.
and so we went to Africa. We had a great time, and Natalie didn't even know what I was going through because we were cool, but we weren't super duper close. So I wasn't just about to just be telling her my business like that. You know, I went on a trip with her to Africa because she invited me, and it was the perfect time. Like I was going through so much, and I was like, damn, like she literally, I was in my New York apartment about to go back to LA, and she called me. It might have been like a Tuesday. And she might have said, hey, bitch, I'm going to Africa in a couple days. Let's say Thursday. I'm going to Africa Thursday. You want to come? Yes. The fuck? Like, so long story short, we went to Africa. We had a great trip. And then we landed back in Atlanta. And it was like the middle of the night or like early morning hours. And so I'm from Atlanta. And my ex-boyfriend lived in Atlanta. And I was like missing him. And I'm texting him. And he was telling me, oh, I'm in the airport. I'm headed to Miami. And like we probably had like just missed each other. And the breakup was so fresh. I just started bawling, crying in the airport. And in the midst of me crying, Natalie was like, what's wrong, girl? Like, you know, and so I had to tell her like, oh, you know, like, you don't know, but I just had a miscarriage and I'm going through a breakup with my boyfriend. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And Natalie, that's when I saw the real her that everybody doesn't get to see. She sat in that airport and she cried with me because she had a miscarriage. And I think in that moment, I saw the real woman her, you know? Not the person that you see on TV or like the character or the social media persona. I saw the everyday woman that knew what I was going through and that felt my pain because she had been through it before. And that is what made me want to be her friend every day, like on a consistent basis, to really, really get to know her. And so after that, like we would just be talking to each other every single day. Like in the morning, she would be on her way to the gym or like dropping her daughter off at school. Like she's like a normal person. Like she's a mom. Like when she's not filming, like dropping her, well, when her daughter was still going to like public school, like private school. Dropping her daughter off to school every single morning, going to the gym, like her little daily routine, my daily.
Now that I can see a little bit of both. Because like her, what she's saying right now, I can believe off the show to a certain degree. I can believe that Natalie is, I don't want to say she's a good friend, but I feel like off the show, she is probably a lot more caring than she is on the show. But what you just said, Naomi, that trauma bonding is why that's why she can't let her go. But we'll get to it whenever she talks about what happened and then why she still want to be friends with her. Yeah, I hate that she went through that. Trauma bonding. Everybody on the same thing,
daily routine, or like even when she would come to LA, just seeing like her work ethic, like she would spend the night in my house, and like to see her get up in the morning and like open up her laptop or pull out her planner and get straight to work as soon as she wakes up. That shit is inspiring. I want somebody like that around because it motivates me to do bigger and better and to do more and to keep going. And it's like,
and that's why I say you always gotta my friends, every single one of my friends, the ones that I call my real friends, they all got something going on. And when I say something going on, they have goals. You have to surround yourself with people that have things in mind that they want to work towards and are actually working towards it. You can't be friends with somebody that don't want nothing in life. So I understand that part as well.
And this lady has been on TV for how long? And she's been an entrepreneur for how long? And clearly she's doing something that works. And I'm blessed enough to be able to have a genuine friendship or at least I think an organic friendship with her. Why not try to learn as much from her as I can? Who wouldn't? If you're sitting around somebody that's successful in multiple areas of their life, why would you not try to learn as much as you can from them? You would be a fool not to.
It makes sense, but I have to tell you, what you described just now and what we see on a regular basis are so
different,
so vastly different.
That's just like what you see of me. who I am on TV and who I am in real life, I'm not walking around knocking people upside their head and being the nigga police in my everyday life. You get what I'm saying? I don't even raise my voice. You know, like if you see me on the internet, you would probably think like I'm a party girl, or people have like a certain persona or a way that they have viewed people. And it's not to say that she isn't that.
That's not part of her.
But I can only tell you because people want to know, why am I friends with her? So I can only give you the reasons why I love her and the reasons why I have chosen to be friends with her and the things that connect us.
Okay.
So.
Because it seems like a lot of her quote unquote friendships end up not going anywhere, or they fall south, or whatever is going on. I mean, we know about the famous feud between her and Sarah Oliver, and like everybody comes up online and spews a lot of negative things about her. But the story that you just gave us was very beautiful. I would have never thought that happened. No shade. I just would have never thought, like, what?
Honestly, like when that moment happened between us in the airport, I'm not gonna say I was floored, but I think that, you know, when you work in the entertainment industry for so long, you do kind of become a little numb or a little cold, because you never really know. You never really know who wants to be your friend or who's just around you for what. So I think we're all a little desensitized. And in that moment, like, a barrier was broken.
No shade. You kind of have to be. I mean, because you just, what y'all deal with and what y'all go through on that show, I don't know. People want me to get into reality TV all the time, and I'm just like, baby, my brain ain't wired right. At least not for that kind of reality. I see my
Exactly, that part. That kind of reality TV, you could never, ever get me to do it. Not even with a large amount of money.
myself being like on
that
competition shows or something like
there's
that. 'Cause I'm
pros
very
to it
competitive.
with getting the
What
money,
would you
but
say
there's a
your
lot of
relationship
cons to
is
it whenever you're
today?
not doing
Because
the show.
baby, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna pull out a little bit of my.
Say you want to go do something else, they gonna why you think like jobs and stuff run background checks? Because they want to know who the fuck you are, and if they see you on TV fighting and beating people up, your liability. They're not gonna want to hire you, which goes beyond reality TV as well into the corporate world, and then not even just in the corporate world. Say you want to go get a job modeling or acting. Who's to say you ain't gonna come on my set and lay somebody down because they looked at you wrong? Like,
In a moment, baby, I'm not fucking tell you, girl, because bitch, what? Girl, the last episode, y'all saw it, and I saw it too. And
Yeah.
I know you saw it.
I did.
What is your relationship today? Because we're gonna dig a little deeper, a little later. It's a long interview. We're gonna dig a little deeper, but what is your relationship today?
I actually talked to Natalie this morning. And I sent after I saw that episode, I'm not gonna lie, my feelings were so hurt. I cried like 3.
hold on, I'm about to run this one in slow-mo. This part right here, I'm not gonna run it back a million times, because when I first heard it, I started dying at a certain point. Y'all know what I'm about to say. But this part right here had me laughing.
times. Like,
Baby.
I'm not gonna lie.
Baby.
My feelings was so hurt.
Baby.
And I'm not gonna lie, my feelings was fucking hurt.
Yes.
But I'll say this, like, and I'm not excusing her behavior, because it was fucked up for her to sit and talk about me with Rollie's fat ass. You know what I'm saying? Because
That part used to, I literally rewound that back about 8 times just to hear her say that. Because for real though, but listen, here's where my real thoughts about to come into play.
that bitch don't like me. I'm gonna just be all the way. Rollie motherfucking ass do not like me. And I'm cool with that, because we're coworkers. We don't have to be best friends. But for you to sit up and talk about me with this bitch, it's like to add insult to injury. Because anyway, I'm not gonna talk about other people, but don't sit up and talk about me with no hoe.
You know what?
So that was my thing
I moved it too fast. Hold on. But we about
about it. And I've had multiple conversations with Natalie about it, and just about things that people have come back to her and told her that I said, you know, when the cameras wasn't up, or, you know, when the cameras wasn't around. So I'm gonna be real. Y'all saw Natalie talking shit about me with Rollie, and the cameras caught it. I'm not perfect. I've done my dirt.
I don't like this part because she trying to say, well, I do the same thing too, to make it seem like she talks shit about Natalie too, so I can't be mad at Natalie for talking shit about me. No, there's a difference. You actually have her back. You don't be doing shit, shiesty shit. She went to somebody that she knows does not like you, sat there and lied after you just addressed her on some real shit that she was dead ass wrong for, then went and turned what you just had a conversation with her about into another situation, had the girl that does not like you thinking that you came to her mad at her because she didn't jump in on one-on-one when you literally made it clear as day your issue was her standing by letting you get jumped. This right here, I was like, you lost me, because like, what?
Dirt, and I've done things that the camera didn't catch.
Okay.
And so I have to, I'm a very self-aware person, and I'm not going to sit up here. And one thing I'm never going to do is I'm not going to try to smear dirt on nobody's name. And I'm not going to try to make myself seem like I'm perfect or I'm an angel or I'm better than nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But that's still, at the end of the day, that's still been my friend for a long time. And with that being said, she did something that I didn't like, and she did something that hurt me. And we got to work on that. But
there ain't nothing to work on with that, Jayla, because it's not going to get worked on, which is why that would be a friendship I no longer want. It's no longer beneficial to me, because if you can stand by and let me get jumped, and this ain't the first time. It'd be one thing if it was the first time. But no, this is probably the second. And then not only that, she set you up to have a fight on the show with Summer. So we can start with the Caribbean shit. First of all, let's go all the way back to Caribbean. When that girl bit a chunk out of you after calling every other black woman on the show niggas, she should have sent her home. That's strike number one. Strike number two is her continuing to let that girl stay on the show, continuing to do it. That's strike number two. Strike number three is when you get to that reunion and that same girl in her lappy comes over there to try and jump you and does nothing about it. Strike four is when y'all go get y'all one-on-one and she clawing your face out and then pulls your tooth out your mouth. Now we at strike five. And then we get here. She then knows why you have why you are on the show acting different now, like kind of being a little bit more subdued. She knew why Jayla was upset. So then you tell her, and then what does she do? The next day, pretty much calls you boring and say you need to go home or whatnot, after she just didn't hear you have that conversation with her about why you're not as vocal and as present in the season, and then sets up Summer to come and try and fight you. And then we get to the end where Lex, even though it's a one-on-one, after a certain point, if my friend is getting their face bashed in, I'm breaking it up. I ain't gonna jump into one-on-one, but I'm breaking it up. But then, like, it's crazy. That right there is crazy. There's no coming back from that. There's no talking about nothing. Like, Natalie would have to be done so with me.
But for me to sit up here and say that I don't still love her or I'm not going to be her friend, I would be lying to you.
Okay.
I'm not going to get on Beyonce's internet and lie. I'm still going to be friends with her. I do still love her. When I have Miami Swim Week, she's still going to be in my show because we still support each other. Even if we support each other in different ways, you have to know in this industry who your friends and who your allies are.
That's true.
And sometimes you're going to fall out with people. You're going to argue with people.
Yeah.
Everybody's not always going to get along. And that's just, it is what it is. I don't know how to be more honest about it. I love her. And to me, Natalie is as much of my friend as she knows how to be, if that makes sense.
Which is a problem. Like, there's certain things that you can get by, but there's certain things that you can't come back from. And that is one thing that you cannot come back from with me. Like, because me, the type of person I am, I will never stand by and let somebody that I call a friend, family, whatever, get done the way she stood by and let Jayla get done numerous times on the show. That is not a friend. That's not somebody you need to keep in your life.
That makes sense. It's just as I am as much of her friend as I know how to be from my perspective and my vantage point of the world.
So what I will say to that is everyone has a different relationship with the people that they're with.
Right.
Friendship, situationship, whatever you call it. Everybody's friendship is different. I have some people that call everybody and their mama best friend. Some people that call everybody and their mama friend. I don't call everybody friend. But that's different for everyone. And
Right.
I can say that I respect the fact that you were able to check yourself in that moment.
Yeah.
Because do we have moments where we talk about our friends and our friends are not there?
No, I don't. I don't. If I feel like I'm about to talk shit about you and you're my friend, I cut you off. That's just not the type of person I am. I can't, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And even if you don't mean it maliciously,
Right.
shit happens.
But, baby, let me
That
tell you
was some
something.
bullshit.
That was crazy. That was crazy work.
It was. When I tell you, first of all, let me tell you, this last season, because I feel like I'm trying to keep it like, let me just be for real.
Uh-huh.
This last season was a shit storm. It was a hell storm, okay?
And why do you think that happened, Natalie? I mean, Natalie, Jayla, why do you think that happened? Natalie. That's why I still love Jayla, but I will no longer defend her when it comes to stuff with Natalie. because like I say with everybody else, you know, like what she said, you got to know the person that you're dealing with. So if you knowingly put yourself in a situation with this woman and some other shit happens that have happened pretty much in the past, and she's done nothing but the same thing, if it happens again, I no longer feel bad for you. I can't defend you. I cannot defend you.
All of the above.
Yes.
And I feel like everybody's emotions was high. Everybody was talking shit about every fucking body. Let's just be real about it, because when you're in an environment with that, it ain't 7 girls like Bad Girls Club.
Right. It was like 19 of y'all.
It's like 20 bitches.
Yeah.
That you got to deal with every single
Exactly. This comment.
day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna talk shit about somebody.
Yeah.
And somebody might go back and say something about it. That's woman shit. That's human shit. It's gonna happen. So
I'm gonna ask, and I think I know what the answer is, but for the people out there watching, because you know the age demographic is, I would say, kind of vast.
It is.
Because we have people from the BGC days, and then we have the kids now. Right. So some are grown and mature and understand how life works, and then others just see the world through the lens of Zeus, and they're just like, whatever. But there are those moments where what you see may not be what it is all of the time.
Right.
And what we saw in that clip of Natalie talking to Rollie is not your life with her on a regular day-to-day basis. And so because of that, I can see where she's saying she's able to get through that and let it mull over.
It's like being in a relationship.
Okay.
So the way that I look at my friendships, I look at my friendships like relationships.
Do you want me to turn the air off? You cold?
No, why? Because my nipples hurt?
No, I just see you.
No, I move around a lot, so no, it's fine.
Okay, good.
But no, I look at my friendships like relationships.
Okay.
And so with that being said, you know, if you're in a relationship with someone, you have to take time to get to know them, and people may do things that you don't like, and you have to be willing to forgive them if you want to keep them in your life, or, you know, whatever the case. But you have to have a little.
If you want to keep them in your life, but certain things are not forgivable. You could forgive the person and still not have them in your life. Jela, she's very much like me when it comes to energies and stuff. Natalie is not good energy. So for her to want to consistently have her around her, that's a little bit weird to me. Because energy is big to me. I don't let everybody around me. Like, I don't. So for this, if somebody is my friend and I can detect bad energy from them, they're gone. I'm cutting you out. So for her to be on this energy stuff too, and then to allow negative energy into her space, that's a little bit weird to me.
I have a little bit of like understanding and compassion for other people just in general. And so I cannot be like, oh, I can't expect for God to forgive me if I'm not forgiving others, which is true. But in the same token, I cannot move about the world and if I allow my man to fuck up, why can't my friend fuck up?
Okay.
And if I can forgive my man, why can't I forgive my homegirl that I've known longer than him?
Okay.
This been my friend for almost 10 years. And when Bad Girls Club shut the lights off on us, and when I was all said and done, and I was an entrepreneur, doing my entrepreneur stuff in my fashion shows or whatever, and Natalie had a good idea, and even though we were still friends outside of me coming back to TV, she didn't have to pick up the phone and say, hey, Jela, you trying to whatever? That was a friend call. I hadn't been on TV in 7 years. She didn't have to call me. She didn't have to call none of us. So that's why I say, like, sometimes people do things and everybody ain't perfect, but I'm not perfect. I make mistakes and I may want to be forgiven. Like, I literally just told my little sister earlier that I just did something to one of my other friends, and I knew after it happened, I said, I was a bad friend and I have to apologize to her for that because it wasn't cool. Be able to check yourself, be able to be self-aware, and know that just because somebody does something, it doesn't determine the full scope of who they are. And don't base that one thing, y'all's relationship, off of that one thing. I can't base my relationship with Natalie off of her talking shit in the car with Rollie, because what happened to everything else that y'all don't see, that I don't.
But that's not the only thing, though, Jayla. That's the point. Jayla's making it seem like this shit talking is one thing, but no, it's Natalie has a whole resume of reasons as to why she's not a good friend to you. Not even just you, but other people too. And that goes back to what me, Movie Bay, and Legend was talking about probably a month ago on live, when I was saying, when you get a firsthand look at a person and the way they act with other people, what makes you think, if they claim that they're friends with this person and they disrespect this person, what makes you think it won't eventually get around to you? And it's gotten around to Jayla, and Jayla still doesn't see it as an issue, which is crazy to me. It makes me nervous to see her in a relationship, and pray to God that she don't get in a DV situation, because
I don't speak about.
If you find no issue with this type of stuff. Mental abuse is real, and Natalie kind of operates that way.
That y'all don't know.
I respect it.
So it's fucked up. Trust me, like I said, it's fucked up. It was fucked up. She knows it was fucked up. We talked about it. We had a whole conversation about it. It got real, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what you do with your people. You know what I'm saying? You ain't see me get on the internet trying to blast her and calling her this and telling that. I liked a few shady posts about her saying some fucked up shit about me. I reposted a couple shady things on Instagram, but as far as like getting on the internet and tearing her down because of that, I ain't cut like that. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Can you do me a favor? Can you refill? Give her a refill for me? You're so kind and sweet. Thank you. Appreciate you, Tristan. You good? You comfortable?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay. Baby, that was number 8. Okay. What made you sign on to do Baddies South? Word on the curb, and the curb being the internet.
Right.
And that ain't no curb.
Streets.
Yes. Word on the curb was that you was either bored or you just needed the money. What is it? One of the two? Is it
was both.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real with you. Like I moved to LA January of 2021. So we're still in the thick of COVID because COVID was happening then. So we're in COVID. I moved to LA and I'm working on normal culture and things are going good, but they could be going better. And Natalie hit me up. First of all, Natalie hit me up to be on Baddies ATL. And at the time I didn't do it because I was pregnant and I was in a relationship. I didn't tell her at the time I was pregnant. I was just like, no, I think I'm good. You know, I was just kind of, I made like an excuse as to why I didn't want to do it. But then when she asked me the second time, it was like, okay, you know, me and her, we done got a little bit closer. We hang out a little bit more on a consistent basis. I guess I wouldn't really mind. I do need the money. I could put it into my brain. You know, I'm always thinking about normal culture, like when I go and do this kind of stuff.
Makes sense.
And so I'm like, fuck you, why not? Like,
you think Baddies South was the breakout season? Some say.
For sure.
What made it the breakout season?
I think it was just loud. I think that the first season of Baddies, so I think Baddies ATL was kind of like, it was the first season. The budget, you know, they was just kind of getting it together, just testing the waters a little bit. And then I think with Baddies South, they kind of figured a little bit out a little bit more, switched the cast up and brought in different dynamics. And I think because there were different dynamics on the cast and not just girls from BGC, it kind of shook the room and it was great. Keshon came in and did her motherfucking thing. I got to give my hat off to her. Like, what it was, it was just salacious.
Yeah.
Did you know that first episode, when Keshon put persuasion in his, and you know, it's no shade to like persuasion. I don't have no issue with her. I don't have no issue with none of them, you know? But that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
And I think when the fans saw that, it reminded them of something that they would see on Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
And I think from there, they were hooked.
Yeah. So on Baddies South, it seemed, and I'm saying seemed because you never know how, you know, stuff maybe, but it seemed like you and Keshon had a bond. It seemed like it became like a dynamic of a big brother, a big sister, little sister situation. How organic was that, and when did that develop?
So I'm trying to think, how did it really happen? Okay, so when we first started filming, I was a little nervous to kind of get to know Keshon, only because, like, you know, stuff that we had kind of like saw on the internet a little bit. And she was like a little bit wilder than I was.
Yes.
And so I was a little nervous to get to know her. Like, and if you saw like in the clip when we were laying across the bed, I asked Natalie because they were kind of saying like that she had, you know, like issues or whatever. And so, but I was asking seriously. I was like, Natalie, is there something seriously, whatever?
Right.
But when I sat back, I'm a very observant person. When I sat back and just saw her moving about, and then I was like, she's just a girl. You know, like she's just a young girl and she's very misunderstood and y'all not finna play with her. And we just got cool. Like I would order food and then like she would come and like sit and eat with me, or like she would smoke and ask me, do I want to smoke with her? Or, you know, little things like I had my sewing machine with me and like I'll be just like making like little stuff. And then like she's like, can you make me something? And I like make her a little pair of shorts or whatever. And like I just had a bunch of clothes with me because that was like, Baddies South, I was really actively sewing and making a lot of my own clothes. And so like her and Scotty, like I would just open the suitcase and they'd be like, Jela, what do you got? I need an outfit.
Yeah.
And they just get what they wanted because I had so much stuff. So I think it just kind of started off like that. And I have little sisters. And and then she started sleeping in the bed with me. And she was just so sweet and she was just so cool. Like,
therapy has always been such a scary idea to me because I simply did not know where to get started. I didn't know how to
I don't know, like.
Do you think, and I'm not trying to get you to say something in a certain way about her. I'm just trying to get to understand.
Right.
And I think for the audience too, because all we see is what we see.
Right.
But you get to see behind the camera. So my question is, when the cameras come around, is there like a switch that turns on for you or her, or like being Baddies South being like it was the second or third season of the series? Is there something like turns on? It's like, all right, let's go. We about to get it in. Like what it is now. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever heard the term lights, camera, action?
Yes.
Or have you ever heard you got a battery in your back?
Yeah.
Those are all true things. What are we doing right now? Lights, camera, action.
Okay.
And the battery in your back is a real thing because when you're filming, you have a battery attached to your back and a microphone across your chest. So I don't think that it's necessarily, when the camera comes on, you turn into like a boom, here I am. But you're cognizant and you're aware that the cameras are on. So you may be a little bit more animated or a little bit more amplified because you know that people are watching. So I think that that's what it is.
Okay.
But I think that that's true for all entertainers, whether you're on reality TV or whether you're dancing across a stage or, whether you're interviewing someone.
It's true because, everybody be wanting to be my YouTube personality every time they see me. And I'm so laid back and chill.
Exactly.
And you know what I'm saying?
There's a time and a place for everything.
And I get that. I definitely get that. What do we know about the 10 versus you and Keshon?
The 10.
What don't we know?
So like what led up to that?
Yes, because it was a while ago and I'm not going back and trying to figure it out.
Right.
And that network edits the fuck out of everything. It'll be a conversation, for example, like the conversation you had in this last episode with Natalie. Mm-hmm. I heard one thing one way, and then I heard another thing another way, then something was said, and then we cut to her and Rollie talking. I'm like, what the hell was the conversation?
Right.
So what don't we know that led up to the 10 versus Keshon and Jela?
Okay, so, because I be smoking weed, child. This is 2 years ago. This is 2022, 3 years ago, 2022.
I'm about to say, why it seemed longer than that?
It was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so the night before that altercation, some of the cast members went out and they didn't want to invite Keshon. And because they didn't want to invite Keshon, I didn't go. And it was more so of a thing. Well, really how it started was they were going out and they didn't invite either one of us at first. Okay. We kind of saw the girls getting dressed and doing their thing. Like, bitches doing we like chilling, like we're done working for the night. And so long story short, they were saying like that they was going out and they were kind of telling me like, oh, well, we going out, you can come, but we don't really want Keshon to come because she don't be knowing how to act sometimes. And I was like, well, no, I'm not going to leave her. Like I be with her every day. She's sleeping in the bed with me. Like this is my girl. Like if y'all want to go, like y'all can go. I'm not going to leave her at home by herself. Like I ain't gonna do that, but y'all go. And so when I went and told Keshon, I was like, yeah, them bitches, they going out without us and they wasn't gonna invite us. And it kind of started from there, in which Rollie and Slim didn't get invited to go out either. And so what happened was the four of us, and I can't remember who else was at the house. We were at the house and we were irritated and we didn't know what they was on because we don't know them. We're still in the earlier parts of filming.
Right.
Because filming don't last a long time. When y'all see it on TV, it look stretched out, but it be only like days in between that stuff.
Okay.
And so something happened. Maybe somebody was using a charger. This shit stemmed from a motherfucking phone charger that was plugged up in the living room. like maybe Keshon's charger might have been plugged up in the living room and one of them were using it, or maybe one of their chargers. It was vaguely. I want to say something happened in that living room with a fucking phone charger. It was something stupid as fuck, to where Slim and Keshon got in an argument and they almost got in a fight in the house that night. Like while everybody was gone, they almost fought and like threw a water bottle at each other. And like, to be honest, me and Rollie didn't have no issue with each other. She had Slim's back, and of course, I have Keshon's back, so I think we both just kind of like got thrown into some shit.
Okay.
They both had an issue with Keshon, though. But I'm not going to let them tag team and double team. I'm just not letting that happen. And so the next day, and this is all still a little fuzzy, because like I said, it's 3 years ago, but I remember it was something that happened where we didn't go out to the club with them, and we was kind of irritated about it, and then Rollie and Slim didn't go out either, and it was something that happened in the living room, and I want to say it was over a phone charger. Slim and Keshon got in an argument, and was throwing water bottles at each other or whatever it was. And so the next day we knew it was going to be up.
Got you.
So, but it basically was behind some bullshit.
Do you think that yours and Rollie's relationship became strained because you beat her up on South, or was it always?
I feel like our relationship became strained because I beat her up, and Rollie, up until then, had never, I think, lost a fight. Or Rollie was the girl that was known for whooping ass and taking names on TV. And so I think that when she and I fought and she didn't win that fight, and I can't speak for her, This is just my own hypothesis. I think that it was an ego hit, and it took us a long time after that to kind of like warm up to each other. We didn't just cozy up to each other and start trying to be friends again. It took us being around each other on multiple occasions after the show in order for us to warm up to each other and say, okay, you actually a cool bitch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't know each other for real, so we ain't really gotta hold on to that for real. We fought. We ain't really know each other for real. Now we work together. We getting to know each other. Like, we could just leave that. In my opinion, I thought we were moving forward and just kind of like leaving it where it was. But
I guess not.
I feel like, and because Rollie and I, like, we've, like, I ain't gonna say like we're best friends or even friends. We're cordial. We're mutual. We've gone and gotten food together. We've smoked together, but not anything too serious. Like, I don't call her and tell her my business. She don't call me and tell me any of her business, and that's perfectly fine. But I felt like at the very least, because we had been working together for as long as we have, and we have shared intimate moments with each other. And
in this season, you are drying her eyes because she talking about her child and everything that she got going on.
Because I mean, for me, and what it is for me is like, I'm a very understanding person. I'm very compassionate. I'm a woman at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm a woman. And if somebody is crying, I don't want to see nobody crying. This is a woman who was saying that she was hurt because somebody was talking about her kid. And I can't even relate to that because I don't have a child, but I know that I want kids, and, I understand.
Did DTV really talk about her child?
I don't know. Because I don't know what they be having going on.
I would say no, she did.
I don't know.
Okay, when anytime somebody misses a child, oh, you talking about my child? Don't bring my child into this. Child, DTV didn't say nothing about that child. Anyway, Baddies, we still on Baddies South, y'all. I hope y'all got y'all snacks. Okay.
Right.
I hope y'all got y'all snacks. We still on Baddies South. There was a moment where Natalie and Jela had a moment. It was a thing. And you seem to be very in tune with your emotions. You cried on the show. You cried. Yeah, you're very in tune. I want to say that there was another emotional moment between you and her.
Yeah.
And I would say that this is after the airport moment, the times you hung out and all of that. So what was the issue? Because it became a house B versus a house A, or your side stay over here. You stay with your dogs. I'm with my girls.
Do you know that is how? Did you notice that after Baddies South, the two houses? So,
yeah.
Basically what happened was, like I said, me and Natalie are actually friends in real life.
Yeah.
So some real life shit got spilled into the TV shit. And the real life stuff that was being discussed or talked about shouldn't have been discussed or talked about.
Okay.
And it just wasn't cool. And
so it was her talking about it, or the cast talking about it?
It was her and the cast. Like, it was, but it was because, so there's a girl that was on the show with us, Ann Moore.
Yeah, she does things with her mouth. Yes.
And so Ann Moore was on Baddies South with us, and I met Ann before the show.
Okay.
And we were, all mutuals. And so I think that because we were all mutuals and we knew some personal business, everyday life business about each other, girls get to talking, girls get to gossiping.
Yeah.
You go and tell this person, well, they don't stop there. They go and say this, that. And it was a situation like that where it was a little too much gossiping going on, and things just had to be checked.
Okay. Who's still on the cast do you normally, naturally don't have to be forced to talk to today? Or Baddies South? From Baddies South?
From Baddies South?
Like, do you still talk to Keshon?
In passing.
Okay.
Like, if I see Keshon out and about, like, I would speak to her, I would hug her, Okay. I'm always happy when I see her, but we don't, like, call each other or speak on the phone.
Persuasion?
I don't talk to her. We were never really like friends like that. We were just on the show together.
Okay.
She's cool though, but it's not we just, friends.
Okay. So Baddies South ends, and there's 2 seasons of a gap. We don't see Jela. Is that because of the tiff you had with Natalie, or is it because of personal things? Why did we not see a return until Caribbean?
So I'm gonna be real with you.
Oh.
I didn't get a call back for, I think the next season was West. I didn't get a call back for West because I feel like I didn't get a call back for West because I didn't fight at that reunion of South. I was looking too motherfucking good.
Okay.
I was looking too good.
Okay.
I was not fighting. I looked too good. Baby, I was looking too good. I had on some gold Jimmy Choos and a cute little custom 1-2 normal culture custom chapleys.
Yeah.
Them finger waves was laid, baby, fried dot laid to the side.
Yeah. Yes.
I was looking way too good. You seen when baby Persuasion did something, I just fell to the floor. Excuse me, out your way.
Yes.
Not doing that.
Right.
No. And Trina was on stage with us. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm not fighting in front of Trina.
Right.
She's too bad of a bitch. I'm sorry.
Right.
I can't fight in front of her. I don't give a I don't give a damn what clips y'all show.
So do you feel like the seasons there was a missing element because you weren't on the seasons and that's why you came to Caribbean? Did you come to Caribbean because the stack grew? Did you come to Caribbean because Natalie asked you? Why did you come to Caribbean?
So I feel like Caribbean was, like I always say, like normal culture is always on my mind.
Okay.
And so I feel like with me being a swimwear designer and, you know, always like creating things that are like resort wear or travel wear, and me being a person that's an avid traveler, going to the Caribbean was so on brand for me as a person and for where I was at with my brand and what I was trying to accomplish. Baddies Caribbean was perfect because Miami Swim Week was shortly after. So if I'm on Baddies Caribbean, the show is airing. If I'm wearing bikinis or if I'm wearing resort wear or, you know, things of that nature. So I'm always thinking from that perspective.
I love it.
And it was the perfect timing. And I was doing really good with normal culture. Like I had been in so many fashion shows, New York Fashion Week, LA Fashion Week, Miami Swim Week, all of the accolades that, I mean, I really didn't have to go back to Baddies, but they be hitting you up with offers that you can't really refuse. I ain't gonna lie. If you ever picked up a check from that network, you already know what time it is. And when they call you, be like, God damn. You say what? Just 40 days? Fuck it. I can what? Damn, for real? Yeah.
Looks like you're getting a $3,200 refund.
Did she mention that at H&R Block, everyone gets their max refund or their money back?
I was trying to find time.
So
What do you say to the people,
for my job, I worked in property management. I had just gotten fired from my job. Me and my boyfriend at the time had just broke up. He was an NFL
I think this is when she was talking about how, I don't know, let's wait.
player. And I was living in Houston, Texas. And I had went back to college. That's where y'all see me on TSU campus in my audition tape.
Very cute video.
And so
She needed the money. That's why.
I didn't have nothing to lose. I knew I wanted to be famous, and Bad Girls Club gave me that opportunity. And so 7 years later, when Baddies came around and I got the opportunity, I was at a place in my life again where I felt like I didn't have anything to lose. I'm a single woman. And at that time, I'm a single woman, you know, going through a breakup in LA, trying to get my footing and trying to survive, trying to make money, trying to take care of myself. I'm not going to sit here and try to dress it up and make it pretty for nobody. That's the truth. Baddies helped me take care of myself. Baddies helped me take care of my family. Baddies helped me get my brand where it is today. And even if
Jela, where is that brand? Where is it? I hope now that you're off, you're going to start putting more energy into that.
people feel like I'm bigger than Baddies or, you know, I should be doing more, life ain't over yet. Life's just getting started. I ain't nothing but 35.
I feel that. But I want to add to that, right? Because I think, well, again, speaking for myself, y'all can say how y'all feel in the comments or whatever.
Probably.
But I think what comes about with that, we thinking that you're bigger than, is because when we look at you and we see you, we see the poise, we see the grace, we see what we have already seen you done and what we can continue to see you do. But then we see the ratchet and the fighting because somebody did something and it really don't make no sense. And it's like the jumping and the sneaking and people getting knotted up and blood. And it's like,
can I be real with you? You know what this is? And I'm gonna be real. And I know that there are going to be people that are saying this at home, like, damn, I'm glad she told the truth. What this is like, what you see me doing is you see me living in survival mode. You see me living in survival mode and being afraid of my own potential. That's all it is.
expound on that.
So I know that I'm supposed to have my own talk show. I know that I'm supposed to be one of the top supermodels in the world. I know that I'm one of the most beautiful people you have ever seen and one of the most well-spoken women on TV.
Okay.
And I got better skin than everybody else. I'm 35 and I got the skin of a 17-year-old.
Okay,
These are things I know.
All right.
But in knowing those things, when you don't come from a family or a tribe of people that have done any of those things that I've stated, it's sometimes a little bit hard to take the road less traveled or to really chase every single dream to the tippy top.
Okay.
And sometimes you do get comfortable and you see me at a place where I found where I was comfortable. I found where I could make money, I could be famous and people could like me and it was easy.
But that's where she went wrong. Because when you have all those eyes on you, that's when you capitalize. You have to really capitalize. And the best way I can explain it to y'all, if y'all been with me for over the last year and paid attention to the stuff that I have, I hit a growth spurt in like probably June. And that's when I started just pounding out content. Because once you start to see it start to increase and you see a wave, you get on that wave and do what you need to do. So you start doing things that are going to bring more and more traction to you. Whereas Jela, with being on the show got more hype. She failed when she stopped really putting all of that energy into her business, because she could have started dropping more lines. She could have had swimwear. She could have made it more like more clothing instead of just swimwear. She could have went into fashion even more. She really could have gotten into modeling a lot more whilst all that attention is on her from the show, where she only just was around doing bookings and stuff. Like, you're not capitalizing off of the clout and attention that you have in the moment. So,
but now that's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm choosing to purposely step away from that so that God can really not only show me what I'm made of, but also show y'all the manifestation that y'all have poured onto me. Because I love when people say that. I love when people say you're bigger than Baddies, and I want to see you coming out with a Naomi Campbell, because what you're doing is you and the rest of the world, the people on Twitter and Instagram or wherever they are on YouTube, the people all across the world that are watching me and seeing it and saying things like that, y'all are helping me. Because it's an energy.
Yeah.
It's an energy.
And it's real, though. It's not,
real.
I'm not
it's a real thing.
I'm not just fugazi and just popping off at the mouth like it's real, though.
For a long time, and I'm not afraid to say this, and I want you to include this because it's somebody else that needs to hear this, so they stop doing it. For a very long time, I was afraid of my own potential. Okay. I played small because I was in survival mode, and I was scared to really walk that walk and talk that talk and really take that step out on faith, because I talk is a good talk. I do. Okay. But there's still a part of me that was scared to really go and be as big as the world knows that I'm supposed to be, because y'all can see it.
But that's the problem, though, to me. This show is all about fighting. They probably they wouldn't even make it a moment to even do a fashion show. That's the thing. They just want to fight on the show. That's just really what it is. So it's like, if she was to talk about it and try and do a fashion show, would they even allow it? But then again, that goes back to what London said. Bring your pieces on the show and make your friends wear them. Because somebody going to see it and be like, oh, I like that. Where did you get that from? And then they can say, okay, I got it from Jayla's clothing line. Yeah.
A blind man can see it. Stevie Wonder can fucking see it. He can feel it. Yeah. He can feel the energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can feel it. You can see it when I walk into a room, even if I don't say anything.
It's good to be self-aware, though. And I have to say, it's hard to even think that a lot of the women a part of this particular franchise, Baddies, are self-aware, because some of the things that we see is...
I don't know how self-aware a lot of people are within my franchise. I had to stop that. But there are some. There are some very intelligent. There are some very intelligent...
What season was they on?
I'm gonna tell you, and this might cause a little bit of controversy because of, just everything that's going on right now within the franchise. But one of the most intelligent women that I have met within my franchise is Diamond the Body.
Didn't I say that to y'all?
So
I've been saying that to y'all. It became more apparent to me this season. But Diamond knows how. Like I said, I think I said it Sunday when I was doing the recap for the reactions for the reunion trailer. Diamond is what Natalie knows she can't. Diamond is essentially Natalie a couple years ago. Like, she's on the brink of really doing something big for herself, and Natalie sees that she could end up being her true competition, and that's a problem. Diamond is smart enough to know how to brand herself. Diamond is actually doing what Jela should have done. Diamond is dropping music, doing what she's supposed to do. You're supposed to do that. That's Diamond's lane, doing music. She's dropped music, and she's actually doing something off the show that if she's not on the season, she's still got motion going in the lane that she wants to.
Get that camera, and you're going to be like, Jela, you better open your mouth and explain what the fuck you talking about and do it quick.
Hold on now, because I'm of age now. I'm a prime rib up here in these streets now, and I don't watch the seasons. And Diamond the Body's cool. I see it. I
don't agree. I'm going to tell you something. Tactics. I don't agree with her tactics.
Okay.
When I say intelligence, I mean when I'm able to sit down and have a conversation with you and your subjects and your verbs agree, and we can talk about books that we have both read, and you're a businesswoman and you're business savvy, and she speaks well. I pay attention to people that speak well. and so
My phone agrees. My phone is.
see, I'm just,
My phone agrees. Go ahead.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not no hater.
Yeah.
And I don't care what issues nobody got with other people. That ain't my business.
Okay.
You asked me who I felt like was intelligent like me.
Okay.
You know, Natalie is also very intelligent.
Okay.
She's a college degree educated woman.
Yes.
But outside of her, when I'm speaking solely in terms of my castmates, my
That's
peers,
interesting. That's very interesting.
she is someone that you would not just give that to off the bat because of how wild she is.
Yes.
But that is what made me pay attention to her even more
Okay.
because she's very calculated with it. She will tell you that she is a clout chaser.
Yes.
But when you sit down and have a conversation with her, she's a girl.
There's an actual conversation.
It's an actual conversation, and she speaks very well. And I speak very well. One day I told her, I said, Diamond, you speak very well. She was like, thank you. And I was like, you have an intelligent mom, don't you? And she was like, yeah, how did you know? And I was like, because I have an intelligent mom. And when you have a smart mom, they just instill certain things in you. Like, I'm from Atlanta, but I don't speak with slang and jargon, like, and I don't have that Atlanta accent. Like, I don't break up my words. And, you know, you really wouldn't know where I was from specifically. Besides, like, you'd be like the region, oh, she's from the South, but I don't know where.
Right.
With Diamond, I didn't know Diamond was from Miami because she doesn't have like a typical, Miami accent. And it's, and just like, I don't have that typical Atlanta, accent or whatever. And so I did not know that she was like from Miami or like from Florida. I'm not sure she's specifically from Miami, but I know that she's from Florida. But she speaks very well, and I pay attention to that. And then one day on Caribbean, I walked into her room, and I think that she was reading, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People or something like that. She was reading like a book. And I said, I be reading. I enjoy people that read. I enjoy people that have like a yearn for life or that are inquisitive and read books and like knowledge. Like, I like that. And that made me like her. And I don't care like about her antics and whatever issues she got with other people, that's her business. But just in terms of intellect and brain power and someone that I respect, like for also having mental fortitude, I got to give it up to her. I give it to her. She got it.
And shit, that's why she's my favorite of these new girls over the last 2 years. Because you could tell Diamond, she got it going on. She knows how to play the game. Somebody said it in the comments. She knows how to play the game. When she's on the show, she knows what she needs to do to get herself shown. But not only that, with her being shown, making moments that brings traction to her social media, which when you go to her social media, you see everything that she's about. She's not just fighting and posting clips of the show and stuff. She's got music. She's out here. Like, she's on tour and stuff. Diamond knows how to capitalize. You got to be smart when it comes to this show.
Her brain works.
Baddies Caribbean was loud. Baddies Caribbean was very interesting. Some of my faves from Baddies Caribbean, Sukiana, baby, she was a personality that was great for this show.
It's a compliment on this show because not too many people on this show are intelligent. That's the point. That's what she's saying. When you sit and think about it, not too many people on this show flex intellect. A lot of the things that are baddie-like on this show in the terms of this show are ignorance, ghetto behavior. And Diamond can tap into that, but she also has layers to her that are likable. And this is one of those. You can tell she's not just, she got substance to her.
You went off on quite a few people. Okay. Those are my top 2 primes right now. And yeah, those are my top 2 primes.
Exactly.
Biggie.
Working with a registered dietitian can be a game changer in achieving your goals. Here's what you unlock through Faye.
Y'all don't realize it, but we can strategically put ads where we want to put them in the videos. And you see how he put them in the videos.
He felt some sort of way that you and Natalie was talking about her online. I remember seeing it live, but I didn't really take it that deep and that serious. It wasn't that for me, but I ain't on the show, so it is what it is. She said she was going to slap the dog shit out of you when she see you. Now, we know Biggie can't do much of shit. We know
that bitch hit hard.
well, we're going to get to her. We're going to get to her now. But in my mind, I'm like, is Jela really moved by this? Or was this a storyline?
Honestly, it wasn't even supposed to be a storyline.
Okay.
But it became a storyline. And thank you, Biggie, because I think that
it's going to be forever.
Had me and Biggie not gotten into it on the internet before Caribbean or whatever the case may be, I probably wouldn't have been on Caribbean because I wouldn't have really had like a real storyline. So I'm able to give people where credit is due.
Okay.
And because it's hindsight, because it really wasn't supposed to be like that.
Okay.
Natalie asked me a question and I tried to deflect. I was like, well, I didn't really see it like that. And I just kind of tried to like move on. And then she brought it back around and we looked at each other and started laughing. But I never poked fun at her. because I didn't at that moment, I didn't really know her like that to poke fun at her or whatever. But she felt like me and Natalie were being mean girls in that moment. I wasn't really, but what the fuck ever. We got to the Caribbean, baby, and it went the fuck down.
Do you, I got a couple of questions about this. Do you think you carried that? Do you think you carried it way too long? Like
I personally don't think, I think she was teetering on it. If y'all don't remember the ones that love to call me biased with Jela, I remember it because I went back and rewatched it. Go to my episode 3 recap of Caribbean. I remember vividly saying, Jela, you got one more after this, because when she went back to want to fight her again after that scratch, I said, okay, you got that one. But if you continue to want to fight this girl when you know you're going to beat her, and then not only that, she's not wanting to fight, you will then look like you're bullying it and you're dragging it out too much. I even said it in the damn recap. So in that instance, I felt that way. Movie Bang Legend, they were like, nope, I'd have hit her every single time because she said it, which I'd have hit her that first time, because if you say that you're going to hit me when you see me, I want you to do it. But then I would have stopped after it. But whatever.
Going against Biggie, it felt like every episode there was like Biggie.
But yes, but that wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault.
What does that mean?
It just, honestly, that wasn't my fault. It just wasn't my fault.
Okay.
Because
yes.
I think for me,
yes. I hear you.
I'm gonna say this: when it came to that situation with Biggie and myself, before that second altercation happened, the one in the house when we got to Barbados.
Okay.
We were already there. Y'all just didn't see us there. Yeah. But Biggie and I had pretty much had a conversation and kind of like squashed it.
Okay.
And then when we got to set, I was told it was a different story. And so that's why when we were...
This is what y'all was talking about, her holding back. You could tell she wanted to say something, but she's trying to like not fully go all the way in, which is why I want to see this part 2. This part 2, I want to see if she actually gets to a point where she actually starts just releasing information, but we'll see. But she probably ain't, which she's being smart just in case if she wanted to go back, even though I hope she don't. But I could tell.
We were in the scene, you see me and Biggie arguing, but there's not really like a bark for real. Like we going back and forth, but I'm trying to like catch it a little. I'm like, where we going with this or whatever? But they're telling me, the people around us are saying, keep your head on the swivel because she owned that. Is what I was told. Just from like.
But what? Okay. So real quick, I'm gonna have to say at the dinner, the intro, maybe Biggie was in it though.
Oh, it got like that.
Yeah, she got up and she said, "Oh, let's go ahead."
That bitch hit me hard. Yeah, I was not expecting that. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you.
And we said that too on, I want to say it was the beach, the first live that we did with Jan. That's when Jela started doing the blocking like this, was when Biggie hit her. And it wasn't even like Biggie like really just stuck the fuck out of her. It's just like Biggie threw. Y'all know how Biggie is. That's how she fight. And with her being as big as she is, and when I say big, like she big, but she got weight on her. So if somebody throwing their arms at you like that, if they do end up hitting and make connection, that shit gonna hurt. So I believe her saying this shit caught her off guard.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. When we was fighting, When we was fighting and y'all see me get up and we ran behind that chair, I underestimated Biggie. And that bitch hit me so hard.
Baby.
She hit me so hard. I said, oh no, I gotta really knuckle and buckle with this bitch.
Yeah, she wasn't playing.
I said, oh hell no.
And in that moment,
we got the fisticuff and Biggie got some good hits and I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not ashamed to say she got some good licks.
Yeah, I was so shocked. Now I'm gonna ask you now, is that a part of the reason why you carried a little bit? Because you're like, hold on now. Because when you was in the house, I don't know what house this was or what time this was, but you was in the house and it seemed like you was going at her and she was not trying to come back at all.
Exactly.
She was walking away and didn't.
But that's what I'm. So let me tell you in that scene, because this is all when we first got to Barbados.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, because remember, technically we had just got to Barbados.
Yeah.
In TV land.
Yeah.
We had just got to Barbados.
Right.
But in real life, we had been there for maybe like a day or so.
Right.
And so even though we had squashed it off camera.
Your workflow is important to us. Please wait indefinitely.
With Monday.com's intuitive work management platform, you have the...
We still have to do that on camera.
Gotcha.
For the fans to be able to follow the sequence of events. And so the scene where you see me walking behind her, going toward her room or whatever it was, I was actually trying to grab her to say, okay, what are are we like, because we made up the night before. So bitch, I
Right.
was like putting on, like
Right.
but they grabbed me like I was trying to fight her, and I actually wasn't. I never wanted to like fight Biggie again after we had squashed it, because I'm like, okay, we can argue, but I had been told that she was on that. And so when we walked back to that back area, I was trying to grab her to see like, Biggie, are we really like on this? Or like, you want to just make it good TV real quick? Like, what are we doing? Because we just kind of squashed this the night before. I know we got to make up on camera, but how are we going to get to that? Like, that's really why I followed her back there to tap her. I didn't know they were going to grab me, because everybody else that's working with us kind of had gotten wind that we had like squashed it.
Yeah.
So we knew that we had to squash it on camera too. But when they came to me and were telling me like,
Right.
it's not a squash, you might want to be head on a swivel. And then when she was like yelling and popping it, I'm like, okay, let me just go ahead and hit this bitch and get this over with. I ain't got time for this.
The question of all questions, do you feel that you bullied Biggie?
I did too.
No, I do not feel like I bullied Biggie. And the reason being is because I did not start with her. Natalie asked me a question and I gave my answer, and I also tried to deflect and not really answer the question out of respect for her and not really knowing her that well and not wanting to seem like I was picking on her or being a mean girl on the internet with my friend. So that's number one. Number two, Biggie threatened me first. I never threatened her. When Natalie asked me my opinion, I gave my opinion, and I didn't even want to give my fucking opinion.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And then I only responded because Biggie got on the internet popping it and saying, yeah, and when I see you, you can get smacked too. So when a bitch tell me, you ain't gotta tell nobody to get me.
Baby.
Like, and it's funny how every fan online tries to act like they completely forgot that. Like, you can't rile somebody up, and then whenever they make you stand on it, you can't scream this person is being a bully. Because no, you started with me. I just made you stand on it. So if you know you don't want to fight, don't start making threats. Like, what?
You ain't gotta tell no bitch to get me.
Baby, she said.
When Biggie said, and I love Biggie. I love Biggie to death. You know, Biggie, you my bitch. I love you now. At this point, we 3 years later.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you say that you're gonna put your hands on me when I see you, it's up and it's stuck. It's like that, because don't you ever think that you're gonna disrespect me in front of the world, and when I see you, it's gonna be something different. If you say that you're gonna put your hands on me, bitch, you better put your motherfucking hands on me when you see me.
Exactly.
Why was Gretchen a non-black person? I don't know what the hell she is, but I'm gonna say a non-black person, and I'm asking you because I wasn't on the show.
Secretly still want to fight.
Why was Gretchen, a non-black person, allowed to say the N-word, go off on a tangent, not give two flying about saying it, have all the black women, predominantly all the black women, seemingly upset, fighting her, allowed to stay on the show, but we have two beautiful black queens, Slim and the other girl, I can't remember her name. Dia, sent home because they were boring. Can you add some light, please?
Well, I'm gonna be real with you. Number one, that's a production question. I don't work in production. But if I had to give you my honest opinion, even outside of whatever it was that me and Gretchen got into, if I had to remove myself and just give you strictly black and white from my vantage point, because you have a black woman and a non-black woman arguing about something that is very controversial. And tensions are rising, and it's causing somewhat of a divide with the cast. And this is something that is going to make great TV, and it's going to be very conversation worthy. And so I think for that reason, they kept her. I can't speak for production. This is literally my opinion from my perspective as someone that fought her, that was involved in the situation. I think me personally, because I got to say me, nobody else. No, nobody said this. This is my own opinion, guys. But I really think that it was just for the ratings. I think that when it came down to it, I'm me and she's her. I'm a black woman that don't play that nigga shit, and she's a Hispanic woman that is allowed to say nigga within her community or with her friends or you know whatever. And her kids got a black daddy.
Okay.
So I'm telling. So I think that, and that don't even, all that shit don't even matter. But I think that when production caught wind of everything that's going on, it's like, okay, these bitches is going at it behind some real life shit.
Yeah.
Let's see how far it goes.
Real. It was real, and no, that scene was intense. Like I said, predominantly not all the black women, but a lot of the black women were on that with her, and it seemed like in one take she cared, and then in another take she didn't, and she was going off on a tangent saying, "I don't give a fuck, nigga," and I'm like,
nigga.
Yeah, it was.
And you want to know what's so crazy? You want to know what?
This was funny about her following her.
Okay, I took a screenshot of this the other day. This was on March 30th.
Everybody's a
What
fan
can you say
of
who followed me on
Jela.
Instagram?
Not you pulling up receipts.
I work best as a one-man operation. I'd be
Everybody's
lying
a
if I said I wasn't
fan.
nervous about getting my taxes right. H&R.
Everybody's a fan.
Child.
Gretchen, why did you follow me on Instagram? I saw you follow me the other day. Why did you follow me?
Friend, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, and this is why another reason why I couldn't be Mona Simone on this interview. Let me tell you, this is not okay. It's
Why
not
did
okay.
Gretchen? Why did you follow?
It's not okay. If you are non-black, I understand that some communities are in a space where not around, maybe they are around blacks and blacks allow it or whatever the case may be, but that doesn't speak for every black person.
Right.
Okay. And if you are around a black person that finds that feels that using those words are very disrespectful, offensive, then you need to shut the fuck up. Period. There's no explanation. Oh, well, when I'm in my hood, this and that and the third. None of that does not matter because you are not in your hood right now. That is not okay.
And so can I actually tell you how this started? Because a lot of people don't know the backstory behind this.
Okay.
So when we first got to the Caribbean, Gretchen actually ate breakfast with us a couple of mornings, like, because we had like chefs and stuff that would cook breakfast for all of the girls. Whenever they would wake up, they'll make you whatever you want. And so like, I was a girl, or I'm a person that wakes up early. I'm an early riser. I'm usually one of the first people up when the girls come down and have breakfast. I'm usually sitting there talking to them, whatever, just chilling at the kitchen table, eating my food with whoever else is down there. Usually it would have been like me and Sapphire. We would always go down and get breakfast together. And so a few times Gretchen was down there and she was cool. I knew that she had 3 kids. She's a Cancer. She's from Florida. She was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have no issue with her. And that day in particular, so they had us in 2 separate houses, but not because there was an issue, but because it was just so many of us. So we had the main house, and then in front of the main house, there was like a second house, like a guest house. And so in the guest house is where Meatball, Gretchen, and I think Slim and Dia were staying.
Okay.
They were staying in that guest house. And then like me, Sapphire, Natalie, Rollie, and Biggie, and whoever else.
Yes.
Whatever. And so Meatball and Gretchen had been into it. And Gretchen was calling her all types of niggas. Nigga this, nigga that, fuck you, nigga. Like calling her a nigga.
Yeah.
Not just saying, oh, but you know my nigga. Not just saying nigga casually in conversation. She had been calling her a motherfucking nigga.
Yeah.
So
Thumbs up that video.
when we all were in that living room, and if you notice, when Gretchen and Meatball came in, they immediately started fighting.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what the we hear Gretchen, nigga this, nigga that, nigga this, nigga that. We still don't know about all the niggas that she had called her in the house. We only know about the niggas that she's calling Meatball in front of us.
Yeah.
It's so much going on. If you go back and watch that episode. Gretchen was calling Meatball all types of niggas, and that's when I said, you can't be saying nigga like that. Are you black? And she was like, no, I'm Puerto Rican. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So in that moment,
which people always forget. Trying to say, oh, well, you was the one hit. I respectfully told you, do not say that because you are white. Don't say that around me. Well, I don't give a fuck. That's why she got hit, because you disrespected me, so I'm going to disrespect you.
For me,
Simple.
I'm gonna be real. I don't give a fuck about nobody going around saying nigga. You say it as much as you want to, but there's a level of respect that you have to have for people that don't feel comfortable with you saying it in their presence. And that is where the disconnect came.
Yeah.
The way I feel when it comes to that, don't say that shit around me. Her saying, go around and say it how many times you want to say it. As long as you ain't in my presence, don't say that shit. If you in somebody's presence that, like I said, them people, them coons that want white people to say nigga around them, as long as you saying it around them, whatever. If that's cool with them, that's cool with them. Don't say that shit around me. Because if I tell you not to say it and you continue to do it, then we're going to have a problem that you probably ain't ready.
Yes.
Because when I said to her, I was like, oh, well, you can't be saying that. You know, you ain't black, and me and the twins kind of, because really it wasn't even me who said, I think it might have been, I don't know, remember if it was Shannon or Shanae. She was like, did you just say nigga? And we all kind of looked at each other like, what?
Right.
And when I asked her about it, she was like, and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Now what you are saying to me is you have a blatant disregard for not only me, but every other black person in this room.
All that.
And your kids, because you have black kids. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
What if somebody was to call one of your kids a nigga? You know what I'm saying? Just because you have made it okay for you to say it, or just because you feel like it's okay for you to say it, you still have to remember you are a non-black woman raising black children, and another non-black person might come out into the world and call your black kids niggas.
Exactly.
And now you got to be able to tell your kids, it's just a word. You just got to deal with it. You'll be all right. But no, because it hit different when your skin is melanated, and it hit different when you know how people try to say that word to weaponize or to hurt you. And that was my issue with Gretchen. It wasn't the fact that she said nigga. I didn't care about her saying nigga because I'm not your mama. say whatever you want to say, but my issue was we told you that it was a problem or that we weren't okay with it, and you had a blatant disregard for our feelings and decided to keep doing it, and then you were doing it to be funny. So since you want to be funny, bitch, I'm gonna show you who gonna laugh the hardest.
Baby, Gretchen took a bite out of crime, baby, and the moment me came out and said, what the hell did you regret doing?
No, I wouldn't regret shit.
Great ideas can come
You
from
me don't mean I regret it. I'm a punch your face in.
Baddies Caribbean, or did you regret fighting this girl? It seemed like she literally took a chunk of your skin off. What was going through your mind?
It wasn't that she took a chunk of my skin off. When she bit me, her mouth was very nasty. And so when I went, I had to get a tetanus shot. And when I got a tetanus shot, where she bit me, that area got infected because her mouth was so nasty. The wound got infected because she had like, I don't know, gingivitis or something. The bitch's mouth was nasty.
I will be messy and ask how many of these bras really got plaque on their teeth, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them do. But anyway, that's just a Wesley moment. We're going to go back to it.
But, so it wasn't, so when she bit me, it was really, when she bit me, it was a bad bite, but the bite got worse because it got infected.
That's horrible.
When she bit me, I can show you the pictures. It was kind of like just this at first. But when I went and got that tetanus shot, it got infected because it pushed all of the bacteria out from where her mouth tore my skin. That is what really caused the scarring from it getting infected, because it had gotten so infected, and it literally had gotten so big that one day on set, and spiritual things are like really, really crazy. You know, like wounds and stuff hold like trauma and like energy and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so like this thing, it was like right here on the front of my chest. And so I had never had another conversation with her about it, you know, since that happened. And then so when we got to Puerto Rico, you can see in the living room, you know, she said sorry, or, you know, tried to like apologize to me or like whatever it was. Do you know that after that girl apologized to me, that thing came open? And everything just started pouring out of it. Like I literally was in the bathroom with a towel across my chest.
Gross.
Of pus and blood mixed together, like gunky, nasty shit. Literally me squeezing and oozing it out of my chest after the girl like pretty much like said her piece. And I was like, that's just like a whole spiritual thing, because you had all of these emotions and you had all of these things like built up, but the moment she was allowed to express herself, the wound expressed itself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
From a different perspective, I'd be going on tangents, but I thought about that. Now it was really crazy to me, but saying that to say, like, the whole situation with Gretchen, I'm not mad at her for using the N-word. If your people allow you to do that, and if that's what is morally okay, and if you think that that's okay, then you go right on ahead and you do that. I'm not here to tell you anything different. The issue was when a group of people, you are not only working on a cast of predominantly black women, you're working with a production company, a network of predominantly black people. I may not have been the only person you offended, but I may have been the person that was the most vocal about it.
Right.
And so that could have easily been a learning lesson for both of us. Because I still feel like there's a conversation that she and I can have. You know what I mean?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You too forgiving. That's the thing with Jela. She's too forgiving. Like with Natalie, and even thinking to have there's no conversation me and Gretchen could have after everything. Absolutely not. Because she too grown. It's like you talking, if you want to think if she was 14, 15 years old, like a kid that just don't know no better. She's a grown-ass woman with 2 kids. Grown. She knows what she's doing. She went online sitting there saying that you are Oreo and she's black. There's no conversation to be had.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not against that.
That's
I'm not
sure.
Well, because I'm not against that, because I feel like both of us kind of like took the rap for that. Like, you know, people don't understand her because she's a non-black woman saying nigga, and nobody never really sat down and have a conversation with her to figure out where you from. Why do you feel like it's okay to say that? Or when Jela and all those other black people were in your face telling you can't say it, why did you keep saying it? I haven't seen nobody ask her that.
Okay.
And I feel like somebody should ask her that. Just like if I was to sit down and I was having a conversation with her, like I would want to know more about her. My grandmother isn't black. My mother is mixed. My mother has a non-black mother, but I ain't never heard my grandmother say nigga.
Okay.
I ain't never heard my stepmother is white, which we learned on Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
She don't say it. So for me, I come from a biracial background. I come from a mixed family.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm running around trying to be the blackest person or trying to like scream or prove my blackness or anything like that. But at the end of the day and the beginning of the morning, I am a black woman. And when I go out into the world, it don't matter what I'm mixed with.
Yeah.
If I was to go missing tomorrow, if somebody had to give a physical description of me, I'm the black woman with the long brown. I'm a black woman with long brown hair and a white.
Just like on that mug shot, how everybody online, Gretchen's not white. Gretchen's not white. But on that mugshot, she's white. Like, come on.
Tennis skirt, baseline.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody getting into, oh, well, your family's from here, your family's from there, and you got this and you got that. Baseline, I'm a black woman in America, and my kids are gonna be black in America, like I said on Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you're gonna marry a black man.
And I'm gonna marry, and I still hold true to that. I'm gonna marry a black man because a black man is the only man I feel like can teach my sons or my children how to navigate this nasty world.
This is not easy, baby. And I know a lot of y'all non-black motherfuckers. This is me talking. This is not Jela. Jela could be PC. I'm going to be me. Okay? I know a lot of y'all non-black motherfuckers out there want to be all of this. Okay? But this is nothing to play with. It's nothing to play with.
Everybody want to be
Anna
black.
and Biggie Black, is they mixed? What are they? Because they like to use the N-word a lot.
That was a good question to end it on. I'm going to watch that tonight, and we can reconvene tomorrow. But yeah, everybody want to be black until it's time to really be black. Like the shit that we go through on a day-to-day basis, it all seems fun and good until it's time to really be black. Like we can't get out of this. We can't get out of this. We know how to make it cool, but we can't get out of that. You get to try and pick and choose when you want to be there. So yeah, no, that's why that shit would never happen with me. But yeah, I enjoyed the interview. It's just a good talk. It's a good conversation. A lot of people don't like you look in the comments, the ones that don't like it is because they didn't get the tea that they wanted. But I like hearing good conversation. Like that's what I like. But I'm gonna watch part 2. I don't know if y'all have seen it yet because I know it's out now. But I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna probably watch it tonight or maybe tomorrow when I work, but I will be back. I think we're gonna do a part. Yeah, we're gonna do a part 2. And what Messy Angel said, like the video, y'all do that. Like the video. So 145 of y'all in here right now, which I can't believe all of y'all got here today. But yeah, we're gonna do part 2 tomorrow. I'm gonna try and do that tomorrow, probably around 8. It'll probably be around 8 because I gotta go to the gym and I'll be in the gym 2 hours. But it's premiere now. Okay, perfect. Cool. You wouldn't get this type of educated conversation. Exactly. And that's why I enjoyed it. This was good. I hope I don't get copyrighted for it. But we're going to see. Thank you, Marina. But yeah, thank y'all for joining me tonight. I'm about to charge this computer up. I'm about to chill and wind down for the night. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. Come join me tomorrow. Turn your post notifications on. Share the video. Like the video. Subscribe if you're new. I will be Carl. I'll be here tomorrow. Y'all come join me tomorrow, and I'll see y'all then. But I am signing off. Thank you for joining. Peace.